What role do you see communication managers or strategists playing, especially when they have to manage big brands who are probably at the stage of, what you call arrogance of success? So in your own case, 174 years old, was it challenging for you to convince your management that the fact that yes, you are big, you are old enough, and you've stayed all of these years, you still need to be relevant? How easy or how challenging was it for you?
I can tell you that unfortunately, you've got to be resilient. The journey to come with this new, fresh, vibrant brand has been a 4-year journey. We made the decision, or we put it to Exco, that we need to do some fundamental shifts in the brand 4 years ago. And it's taken us 4 years to get to this point. And actually, we've lost a lot of time. But you had to go through the process of engaging stakeholders, putting the data on the table, and not just talking about the benefit. And one of the most valuable things that we did as part of this process was to talk about what would happen if we did nothing. And that was a very compelling story, because currently, in South Africa, which is our home market, our average customer's age is 44. We've got an aging customer database. Young people don't think we are Old Mutual's your mother's company, is the kind of the perception. And so we said, if we don't do anything, and by the way, we're not servicing them through the channels that they want to be serviced. And then we built the argument for, if you don't do anything, what do we think is the likely scenario? And that was, I think, quite compelling. So data, scenario planning, and giving people the information around the impact of not making some of these decisions, I think is absolutely important. I think the second part of it is we've got to try and move up the value chain so that communications and marketing and brand are not after they've developed the business strategy. Okay, marketing, come give comms plan or a marketing plan to support this business plan. We've got to be inherently involved in the business plan itself. And how we've done that is to say, if you are customer-led, there are 3 things that you need to kind of do. The first thing that you need to do as in any business is to say, which markets are you going after and what's the size of the commercial opportunity? And marketing has played a great role in saying, we actually think these are the markets that we need to be going after, and we've even done commercial modeling for those markets. The second part is to then really say to the business, what do you need to design and deliver from a proposition point of view for those markets where you want to play? And then the third thing is about how you take it to market. And I think the more we can play a role along those 3 points, I think the more valuable and commercially important will be within that piece. But it hasn't been an easy journey. As I said, it's taken us 4 years to get to this point, and certainly from here on in, we're hoping those timelines will become shorter and shorter, because the reality is competitors are out there doing it at scale, at speed. We've got a bank in South Africa called Time Bank. They launched 6 months ago. They now have, I think it's 400,000 customers in 6 months. So if we don't do anything, I think we are seriously in trouble.
Thank you for sharing the insight views. We've got one question here.
Yeah, thank you. Quite interesting talk. So I'll pick Amkose from South Sudan. So I'll pick up from one of your slide quote that you have put about solutions for Africa must come from Africa. So like we have this kind of things in African society where like some solutions that are coming in from local startup or companies, people tend to overlook them as if like they don't have more skills compared to big brands that are coming in from outside. So my question is like, how do you inject that into your marketing strategies that your customer base doesn't overlook on that point of looking on other side as having more skills or on that point? Thank you.
Great, thank you. We operate in South Sudan, and it's a very interesting market given some of the challenges that are there, but we really see the opportunity in South Sudan. So I guess what is also very interesting for us as a brand is that when we look at competitors across all the markets where we operate, the majority of the competitors we compete with are actually local players. So if you go, it's Britam, it's local players. It's not multinationals or internationals. There are in some instances, but in the bulk of the markets where we operate on the continent, it's the local insurers that are our biggest competitors. That in and of itself says something. And so the role that we are trying to play is to say that we bring lots of different things to the table when we enter the markets where we operate. From a regulatory point of view and an industry point of view, one of the compelling points of parity for us, of differentiation, is that we bring international best practice and we're able to elevate the standard of insurance to the markets where we operate, because we have all of the best practice and the standards from all of our different markets where we've got the learnings, and we bring that to markets where we operate. So from a standard, quality, lifting the standards and the governance in all the markets where we operate, I think that's a very compelling proposition from our point of view. But what it means from a marketing point of view is that we have got to make sure that how we communicate, not just at a country level, but even at a customer level. So what we are now doing, so we've got 6 core markets that we're going after. One of them is called the starting out market, which is the youth market. And when we talk to the youth market, we use words like, you'll forgive me, I'm not that market, but we use words like woke and lit and all of the words that these young people use, because that's the language they understand. When we speak to family providers, we have a very different language to how we speak to young people starting out. So it's about the granularity and the specificity of your messaging, and then we make sure that we've got very strong content strategies and calendars that can appeal to those markets at those moments of truth in their customer journey. So you've got to really be able to map out that customer journey and make sure that your messaging along the customer journey is appropriate, relevant, and really, and we talk about snackable content. Gone are the days where you try and, what we've done very well in the past, even on our website, is we try and take all the legal documents and put them online. Or we try and express our internal structures externally. People want simplicity. And so snackable content and really making sure that it's relevant and appropriate certainly will be something that will resonate with customers across the piece.
Okay, thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, please one more time give it up for Andisa Ntsubane.